Hello. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about how to know when you're ready to invest. We have a lot of people ask us questions about, I want to learn about investing. I want to build wealth. What should I invest in? What's the best investment? And so we want to help you to be able to identify if and when you're ready to invest. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about it today in our show.
Yeah, so we're Martin Chelsea Matthews. We go live every day talking about personal financial development.
We're gonna you want to do an intro, huh? You want to tell the people who we are.
Something a little different this morning.
So, I should probably finish my mint before we go live, huh?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about how to, because every day people DM us, every day our social media expands, more people discover us, to find us, to do a lot of short videos where I explain concepts.
That is strong. I chewed it up to finish my mint and it just made mint in my nostrils.
So look, a lot of questions I get asked. What's the best investments? What should I be investing in? How do I make my money work for me? How do I make my money grow? How do I get passive income? These are all the questions that we get asked on a daily basis.
On the daily.
And so I thought we'd go live and discuss some of these. How to know when you're actually ready to invest.
You thought we'd go live?
In assets. Yes, everything is my idea.
Yes, he is very good at all of his ideas, especially when
all of our ideas are my ideas, and all of my ideas are my ideas. So there you go.
You know, just like all of your money is my money and all of our money is my money.
I don't know about all that.
All right, let's get into it. What's up? Somebody saying what's up to you.
What's up, brother?
Because I don't think I'm anybody's brother.
I have investigated and have found out that you're nobody's brother.
The verdict is not out anymore. So, number one question to ask to determine if and when you're ready to invest is, what's the first place to invest, right? So this question we get a lot. What should I invest in? I have this much money. What should I invest in? Well, you want to look at, have you invested in yourself? Have you invested in your own knowledge? Because before you ever invest your money into anything, you have got to know about it, have some kind of interest, and you've got to be in the right mindset and financial place to be able to handle any risks, handle any ups and downs, handle navigating, because most investments, you don't just put money in and then never do anything else.
What's up, Calvin?
You got to have some knowledge about it. And so you've got to get your mind right to get your money right. You got to become a mind ninja. You have to expand your money thermostat so that if you find yourself at kind of a average, not average, but around the same area of money and opportunities and, just in your lifestyle, that it kind of is in a certain area. And if you want to get to the next level, you have to increase your knowledge. So you have to get the right information about if there's anything in particular that you're interested in investing in. You got to learn about your financial house. You've got to learn about, how can you think more abundantly? How can you understand how money works? So you really want to look at, have I invested in myself to increase my knowledge?
And so, look, this is a common thing. A lot of people say this: invest in yourself. What the hell does this specifically mean?
What does that actually mean?
It means, look, there's this guy that wrote a book called Malcolm Gladwell, called Outliers, and it talked about how people achieved extreme success and why these people were outliers, because some of them were in a certain area or grew up during a certain time period, where they're in the right place, that they could gain the knowledge or gain access to things to be able to be very successful. And he talked about, I think, the Beatles or Rolling Stones, and how much practice they got, just massive amount of practice. So that's some of the things you have to do. Your brain is like a muscle. You put certain information in there, you exercise it, you study it, you understand it. That's part of investing in yourself, because nobody can steal your knowledge away from you. Nobody can reach into your brain and take out your knowledge. Something that you always know it.
I mean, unless they reach into your brain and take the part out that has
Yes.
your knowledge.
So unless somebody kills you, you get dementia, some weird thing like that, your knowledge that you have, nobody can steal it from you. Nobody can rob you. Nobody can trick you. Once you know something. So when we're talking about investing in yourself, it's not just this phrase that people saying. It's increasing your level of knowledge so you can increase your certainty. People make financial mistakes because they don't have a level of certainty. Like, do you know that when you do something, you can repeat that action, you can do that thing well? You have a level of competency in that area. Competency, meaning you know how to do something well, comes from practice, comes from increasing your knowledge, just like driving a car. Our son, he's learning how to drive a car, right? When he first started learning how to drive a car, he was not very competent.
It was scary.
Now he's becoming more competent. Like, yeah, we were scared being in the car with him. Why? Because his competency level was very low. Now his competency level is higher to a point where I'm not as scared being in the car with him driving so much anymore. So now his competency level has gone up. So on the subject of finances, first thing you got to do when you invest is investing in increasing your knowledge. If you don't have a lot of money, invest time to increase your knowledge on the subject. I'm not a believer that somebody should learn from a million different types of people.
It just causes confusion.
Dude, it's freaking confusion. One guy says debt is bad. The other guy says get a bunch of debt. Who are you going to listen to? You're going to be in confusion. You know what a confused mind does? Nothing, because you're too confused. You don't know who's right. So find somebody or find a handful of people that you relate to or that you like. You're like, okay, I like what this person's saying. It makes sense to me. I look at the data that they give, the things they teach, or they say it in a way that is easy for me to understand. I'm going to roll with that person, and I'm going to study the things they're saying, and I'm going to use that to increase the knowledge. Doesn't mean you stay learning from them forever, but there may be at a point where you can learn from that person, increase your knowledge at that space and time where you are.
And here is a clue too of where you need to invest your time and your effort to get to the next level. If you're having a hard time making a decision, knowing who to trust, knowing how to determine what information is correct, then those are the areas that you need to increase your own certainty and increase your own knowledge so you know how to determine. And if you know and like what we share, our content, we actually have put together a whole platform of financial education, talking about mindset, talking about your financial house, talking about investing, talking about business, all kinds of different areas. And so if we are someone that you know, like, and trust, you can actually check out, we have a membership site, and you can get ongoing information and education that will help you to increase your knowledge so you could take more responsibility and have more control.
I was going to say, we're gonna unveil the name, and I think you guys will like, you guys will like the name.
So for now, you can check it out at sixbuildingblocks.com/member. I don't think it's been switched yet. sixbuildingblocks.com/member. But okay, you want to unveil the name?
The official name that we came up with this morning.
Our university.
It's called UFU.
University. I mean, Unbreakable Finances University.
And the reason why because we always talk about building unbreakable financial house. So we wrote this book about couples and money, and on there it says how to handle conflict and build an unbreakable financial house. Because in reality, that's what everybody really is going for. They want their finances to be in such a strong condition that it is unbreakable, that no matter what happens in the economy,
thank you for the heart.
No matter what happens in your life, even if somebody passed away, your finances would still be unbreakable. Your money could go into a trust, and that could leave generational wealth to your family, making it unbreakable. Well, it does not happen overnight. It takes, you build it up, you build your finances stronger and stronger step by step. You build a foundation, you build the next part. So I'll put the link in there where you guys can go and check it out.
Yeah, and that brings us to the second way to determine how to know if and when you're ready to invest is to ask yourself, how does your financial house look? We have a financial consulting, investment, and insurance agency. So we help people with a lot of different financial products and strategies.
With retirement, with private real estate deals, all these different things like that.
Yes, thank you. And along with, you can put together the best financial plan for somebody, but if they don't have the right mindset, habits, beliefs about money, it's not going to do them any good because they're not going to stick to it. So over the years, we have a combined 22 years experience in the financial industry, and we have helped thousands of people, and we have been able to see thousands of people's behavior around money and their different success levels. And so we have an inside look at how people behave, and also in putting together their plans and their strategies and their products and services, we could see what the missing pieces are, that just putting a product in place, just getting life insurance, just, securing your retirement. These individual pieces are important, but it's also important to have ongoing information, ongoing education, so that you can expand your knowledge, so you know why you have these products and services, so you know what they can do for your financial house, and you can know what other pieces that you need to put in place. And so there are 6 building blocks that make up your financial house: cash flow, debt management, reserves, proper protection, build wealth, and build legacy. All of these building blocks make up your financial house. And when you can identify what each one of them are and identify where you are in each one of these building blocks, then you can start to identify where you want to be. What are your financial goals? And then start to fill in what are the steps that you need to take to get there. So we've put together tons of resources and educational materials in a very interactive and fun way, so that you can increase your knowledge about your entire financial house and what you need to do to increase your knowledge, to know about these things, not to just do these things because we tell you to do them, because you've been financially empowered to know the right information about your financial house. No, there's no one plan for everyone, okay? Your financial situation is different from someone else's financial situation. Someone may have a financial shack. Someone may have a financial mansion. They're going to have different needs and different action plans when it comes to their financial house. And so this is a way that you could take responsibility. You can get financially empowered in your mind and your finances, so you can really create unbreakable finances and create the life and the impact that you truly want to. Okay, you're sharing the screen. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is what it looks like, and these are what some of the courses look like. For people on Instagram, on YouTube, sometimes we share screens, and so you can actually see what the membership site looks like. There's tons of resources, tons of courses. We're adding to it all the time.
So let me give you some context about why we put this together. We did this because, first of all, financial education is, I believe, the greatest economic crisis of all time. Were you finished? Or you want to say
I guess I am now.
So sorry, I got overruled her. Sorry, sweetheart. So financial education is, lack of financial literacy is the greatest economic crisis of our time. Because if somebody doesn't understand how money works, then it's very easy for you to get lost in the system. Other people will take advantage of you. You go and get credit cards. You go and get debt. You don't know how it works. You don't know how to put these strategies to work for you. And so that was the problem I faced when I came to America. I moved to America from Liberia, West Africa. The last 2 years has been rated the poorest country in the world. And so I grew up there seeing a lot of poverty all around me, right? So I wanted to understand money and finances. I'm in America, supposed to be the richest country in the world. How come everybody seems like, I thought everybody had money. How come people still seem like they're broke in the richest country in the world? What is it that I don't know? And what is it they don't know? And so I started to learn. It took me years to try to learn some of this stuff. And then I started to understand, and I got a mentor, and I started to learn from people who were successful. And some of those things I picked up. And then I got into this industry, and I started to go, to do that. So financial education, no matter where you are, is always important. I did a call yesterday with.
There's more courses than this.
I did a call yesterday with one of our clients, and I won't go into the details on it, but they're receiving a massive amount of money, and they're constantly trying to increase their. This is somebody who's already very successful, business owner, has wealth already, has a big real estate portfolio, all these different things, and they're still looking to increase their financial literacy. The whole call was about strategizing on certain things we can do with some of the funds that may be received here. So, not all kinds of different levels, people are still trying to understand how to do better, how to do smarter things with their money, how to do well with it, all that. So there's some of the things that's in here. This whole deal, this is not a whole, I don't care about pitching to you. This is $20 a month. That's the cheapest I can make it to get the thing started. So you can go to, there's some other things, pieces in here, how to become your own bank. There's a whole thing on it. So you pay $20 a month, you get access to all of these things that's in there. And if you're on Instagram, you can go to our link in bio and you can see that. What is inflation? We've been talking about inflation for years. That's one of the biggest enemies of your wealth. We talk about inflation, how to handle it. There's a course on the 6 building blocks of your finances: cash flow, debt management, reserves, proper protection, build wealth, build legacy. How do you do that? And then all of these are still broken up: cash flow, overcoming and managing debt, all of those different things, how to handle those. There's even a kids money system in there that our son put together, and it was about how to teach kids good money habits taught from the perspective of a young person. All of these are things that's there. There's different videos that we're putting in there. We're going to add like 100 different short videos to that over the next week.
And listen, for those of you with kids, the kids money system our son created, think about the financial mistakes that you have made and the challenges in trying to get the right information about money and how to handle money and making the right financial decisions, and then trying to fix the mistakes that you made because we weren't taught about money as a kid or from our parents or from school. And think about if you could get the right information from the start. Think about if you could give your kids the right information about money, they could learn how money works and how to make it work for them and how they can actually exchange and earn their own money even as a kid, and start to invest even as a kid, have their own business. And think about how much of a head start that they could get by getting the right information and not having to make financial mistakes and not having to fix them when they get older and have to relearn and unlearn and the challenges. And think about what that could do, what you could do for them by being able to get them that information. And it's a fun way to learn from another kid about money, how to get it and what to do with it.
And here's some of his results. Our teenager has more money saved than most adults, than a lot of households. He has more money saved than most adults. He also has in place a life insurance policy that he can leverage when he gets in his 20s to buy real estate. So he's got that in place. And he also has some other types of investments that we looked at. Some of it we matched him, and then others he funded himself. And he works during the summer. He works right now, goes to school, work. So he's got good work ethic. He goes and works out. Then he has a job. All these different things. Right. 2 summers ago, was it last summer? Last summer, he worked here in the office with us. So understand things about, he will be so far ahead. He will probably, if he does things well, and if he wants to go build wealth, he would have the opportunities to surpass us because we're putting things in place for him, some of the things he has and the knowledge and skills and different things he's learning that we didn't have. So as a result, he can take, even if we do not give him any money, he already has skills that will help him to where, because of his start and his understanding, he could end up surpassing us, meaning he could build more than we build because of where we're starting versus the things that we knew at his age. So, and of course, he's, we have a trust and all that. And so he will receive some assets from us, but we're not going to hand everything to him on day one. Like when he turns 18, let's say Chelsea and I pass away, I'm not going to give an 18-year-old $10 million. Why the hell would I do that? that would be the worst thing I could do for him, is to 18-year-olds, I'm going to leave you all this money. So we don't do that.
He has the most valuable asset, time. He does. And that's why it's so important to learn this information about money, how it works, how to make it work for you as soon as possible. And to think about that gift, that if you have kids, what you could give to them. And that's one of the things that's what led me to the financial industry, because before I met Martin, I was a single mom and I really struggled to find, how do I create success in family and finances? And so I set out on a journey to learn the right information so that I could teach him. And as I learned, the more that I learned, I taught him right along with me. So I was in my 20s, he was in his 2s, he was like 5, 6. And I would teach him what I learned. The books I was reading, I read to him. And then when Martin and I met and we combined our business and we continued teaching him the things that we learned, the things that we taught our clients, Martin started teaching him strategies that he would go over, complex financial strategies that he would go over with clients. And that's really how we started developing and being able to explain things in a fun and easy way, because we started with our child and learning how to explain it in a way that he could understand. And so then we knew, okay, if he can understand it, we can explain it to other adults. But now he became so advanced in what he could understand that he understands a lot more than some adults, a lot of adults.
And when we put his life insurance policy together so that he can use it to build cash, we showed him that. We showed him the numbers and said, hey, this is what it is. This is how much cash we built up inside of the policy. This is how it can be used, all of that. And he was like, all right, great, cool. So we actually showed him that, like I would do, sit down and show the client numbers behind the strategy so that he can understand it and how to use it. Good morning. What's up, Daniel? Good to have you on here.
All right. So the third thing to look at to know if and when you're ready to invest is, can you sustain an investment plan? Okay. So it sounds really great and exciting to invest and to start an investment plan, whatever it is, whether it's real estate, investing in a business, investing in stocks, crypto, whatever that you're looking at investing. It's exciting starting something new, but can you sustain it? So number one, are you making more than you're spending? You have to have excess capital to be able to put aside money to invest, because most investments are going to take either a lump sum or going to take like monthly funding or, some period of time funding. So you're going to need some type of money, unless you're doing like wholesaling for real estate and you're using other people's money, which you're going to need the time and the knowledge to find those properties, right? And so then you have to look at, okay, what does my investment strategy look like? Okay, if you're looking at a retirement investment strategy, well, how many years until you're looking at retiring? And then how much money do you want? And then how much money do you have to fund? And what is that going to look like? And can you stick to it? Because if you don't already have the habits of putting money aside, storing capital, saving money, whatever you want to call it, if you don't have that habit now, how are you going to stick to an investment plan? If you're like, okay, I'm going to start putting this money into this investment plan and something happens with your business, you have a bad month, you lose your job, you get sick, it's Christmas, whatever happens, and you don't have that habit of no matter what, putting that money aside, you're going to crap out on your plan. And then guess what? You can actually put yourself in a worse financial position because you've maybe put some money into your investment plan and now you're crapping out on it. You lose that money, you lose the investment, and you're starting behind square one. So you have to be able to look at, can I sustain, and are my habits and actions right now showing that I can sustain it? So when we look at taking on clients, we look at what their financial habits are. What's your income? What's your cash flow? How much is left over? What are you doing with it? Are you saving now? If somebody has a habit of consistently making more than they're spending, consistently putting aside money, then we know, okay, they've got the right habits. If they don't, that's a red flag.
If you don't have good habits, no matter how much money you have, we won't take you on as a client, as a financial client.
Even no matter how much money you make.
Because we've had to turn people down, and because they will try. What's happening is, here's why we do that. Because the person doesn't have the habit themselves, they want somebody else to blame, or they want to put the responsibility onto someone else. And that would be you, the advisor, right? So instead of saying, I want to develop the habit, can you help me build and structure a plan to develop and utilize these habits? they want to then say, you do this for me. And then if it goes wrong or whatever it is, or if I stop funding it, or if I stop doing this, I'm going to blame you. So that's what they're trying to do. And what I look for is their habits in putting money away. Are they disciplined? And if they're not disciplined, it's like you have a trainer, right? You say, okay, I want to go to the gym. And the person does not have the habit of going to the gym. That's fine. You understand. We're going to get on a workout plan. But then the person goes to start a workout plan, and they plan to work out 3 times a week. But then they work out once every 2 weeks. And then they get mad at you if they don't get results and go like, that person's not a good trainer. No, they didn't do their
You're
part
not a good
of it.
client.
They didn't do their part of it. And so it's teamwork with when you're working with somebody. So we look for their habits. If the person already has a habit of saving, that means the person's already worked that muscle a little bit. If the person already has a habit of at least showing up, at least coming to the gym, you know, okay, then I can take this person and we can help them get to the next level. So this is the concept you have to look at, because a lot of people, and I understand people may have bad financial habits because a lot of people are never taught. So that's why we make resources available so that they can start to build the habits. Sometimes I tell people, and sometimes I don't even like to hear it, I tell them, look, we're not going to start an investment plan for you at this point. What I recommend you do is over the next 6 months, do these steps. Do them, develop the habit of doing them, and let's reconvene back in 6 months. Sometimes they get upset about that. And like, no, I want to start now. I'm like, okay, great. You can do that. It's your life and your money, but I don't have to be the advisor to your plan. I don't have to set it up for you. I don't have to do anything for you. So I say that not in a callous way, but that person's already telling me from the beginning, they're not going to listen to my advice anyway. They're going to want to do whatever it is they want to do. So why would I then want to take somebody on as a client if that's going to be their behavior?
Yeah.
There's certain things you can do on your own before you need an advisor.
Okay, here's a question. Is there a certain percentage you would recommend out of take-home income to invest?
So I recommend at a minimum, a person should be able to put away 10% of their income at a minimum. The reason why a lot of people don't do that in America is because it is not said that should be the minimum. And here's the thing. You can get to a point where in your business or your household, your income is high enough to where you can save 40% of your income. Now, why does this seem? It seems almost impossible to people. Meaning, if the person makes $100,000, they get in a position to save $40,000 a year. Now, this can seem very, very difficult, and probably is difficult. That means the person's income needs to continually get higher and higher. So, at a minimum, if you aim for saving 10%, and the way you do it is you disguise your savings as an expense. You know, people say pay yourself first, but what's the mechanism to do that? The mechanism to do that is no matter what, you're going to take this 10% and you're going to put it aside, and then everything else has to fit within whatever else is left over. And if you don't have enough money left over, what does that mean? It means either your expenses are too high or your cash flow is too low. Well, if your lifestyle is at a certain amount, then what you need to do is just figure out how to increase your cash flow. And so that's what I recommend, at least at a minimum, 10% of a person's income. The person's not saving at least 10% of the income, 10% of what they make, 10% of business revenues that they create profits in their business. The business will not succeed. The household will not have enough money to retire, to do all these different things. That somebody saving 1 to 2% of their income is not going to get anywhere. I hate to be the person to tell people this, but that's just the truth. Most people are not saving anywhere near enough or putting away anywhere near enough that they need to. Anybody I look at who's successful with their savings plan over time, they're putting away a minimum of 10% of their income. They'll go to 20%. Now, of course, 40% seems astronomical, but not everybody can get to that stage. But a minimum everybody should be striving for is to do 10% of their income putting aside.
So if you would like to increase your knowledge around your finances and build unbreakable finances, you can check out our membership site, UFU. It's sixbuildingblocks.com/member, sixbuildingblocks.com/member. And if you have any specific areas of your finances that you would like help with, feel free to reach out. You can comment on here. Instagram, if you send us a message, that's best because the comments on this live stream disappear when we end the live. So please send us a private message and with your questions, your comments. We would love to communicate with you, and we would love to help any way that we can. So check out our membership site, 6buildingblocks.com/member, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.